I'm Mikey.
And I'm Kat.
We just wanted to give you a wee rundown of what rank rotten is. Have you ever wanted to watch a movie, but you're unsure, so you check online to see if it's any good? Then it's likely you've seen a Rotten Tomatoes score.
In case you haven't heard of Rotten Tomatoes, it's a review aggregator website. It gathers reviews from critics to decide if a film is fresh or rotten. But is the critical consensus everything?
That's just it, Kat. So why not join us then as we look at films the critics of Rotten Tomatoes have decided are rotten. We'll look at them a little closer and attempt to unearth any redeeming qualities these films may have and ask the question, are these films really actually rotten?
We'll also look at trivia, discuss the film's plot, and see if there's any difference between what critics say and what audiences think.
We can't wait to get talking about these films, many of which are absolute gems, and some of which, well, suck. So please follow us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks, love you, bye!
Bye!
Alright, you magnificent malt-obsessed maniacs. Welcome back to the June edition of the Bearded Beer Pod. I'm G, your unapologetically hungover host, here to guide you through another month of absurd labels, mind-blowing hot bombs, and the occasional pedestrian pint you only picked up because the sticker looked cool. Got a jam-packed show for you this month, beer reviews, a live Pride event takeover, exclusive chat with Lucy from Closet Brewing, and of course our roundup of this month's wildest sips. But first, stop whatever you're doing, whether you're hiding from relatives at a wedding, queue jumping at a festival, or just absolutely done with reusable glasses. This episode is brought to you by Pint Pouch, the world's first wearable beer bladder, because sometimes you just can't trust the glass.
This episode is proudly brought to you by Pint Pouch, the world's first wearable beer bladder. Sick of being stuck at the bar waiting for your round while your mates are halfway through their second pint? Pint Pouch straps comfortably to your stomach, back, or inner thigh, discreetly holding up to 4 pints of your favourite brew. Complete with a handy spigot and optional beer belt buckle tap, it's the perfect companion for festivals, awkward family barbecues, and weddings where the only lager on offer is Foster's. Pint Pouch. Fill it, wear it, sip it. Pretend it's a medical device. Disclaimer: Pint Pouch not recommended for carbonated stouts, flaming sambucas, or hot bovril.
Right, June's been absolutely mental. Let's talk beer. I kicked the month off with a stunner from Fine Ales. I got hit with a label shock from White Dog Brewery, then the absolute unit of a double IPA from EQ and Orchestrated Minds. Don't forget, near the end, we've got a Primo Pride segment from Edinburgh's Salthorse Bar. I'll be there yakking with Lucy from Closet Brewing, sampling 6 wild, unapologetically fabulous beers, fruit-forward, glitter-top, purely lethal session pints, and stay tuned for behind-the-scenes chaos and stories of why beer and pride go together like Mumford & Sons and puberty. So, buckle in. We're diving deep into this month's best, worst, and most WTF beers. We've got riotous labels, surprise sours, liquid violence, festival ready gadgets, a Pride takeover to round it all off as well. Stick with us because it's about to get gloriously messy. Let's get cracking with the knacking. Okay, first off, before we go any further, I'm on my 4th beer of the night. I'm so fucking behind in this podcast malarkey. It is now 7 minutes past 1 on Saturday morning. I'm recording a podcast. And I'm not going to edit it. Right, okay. First beer of June. Ooh-wee! Avalanche from Fine Ales. I have to take my glasses off because I can't read my fucking notes. Yeah, Avalanche from Fine Ales is a simply gorgeous pale ale. The label says it's refreshing, and it did not lie. I'd happily drink this in a pub all night, and hopefully will do soon. And that was a solid 5.85 for that big bastard. Crazy label time with White Dog Brewery's New England double IPA stuck in paranoid mash. It tastes boozy as fuck and hot, despite being in the fridge for a week. Yeah, it was fucking weird. It was like, it was cold but hot at the same time, if you know what I mean. Probably not, but I'm gonna get fucking letters anyway. I feel it was the beer equivalent of a bop in the nose that you feel right in the cartilage, and no doubt you know what that feeling is. And that was 4.5 on Untapped. Next up, EG Brewery and Orchestrated Minds Brewing have created some kind of Frankenfurter, see what I did there, monster, with their double IPA Quantum Orchestra. The label was an unholy union of Rick Sanchez and that wizard, what was invented by that bigot out of fucking Harry Potter, but we don't talk about that fucking stupid fucking cunt. Oh, she makes me so fucking mad. Why are you so obsessed with people's genitals, J.K. Rowling? Why? What has it got to do with you? Anyway, it tastes like the people that she hates that aren't straight and white. And again, in my notes, is why she's obsessed with people's genitals. Yeah, it says me. This is definitely the one the review didn't fit on Untapped. I had to cut it right down. But you'll be used to that by now because it's just a pile of bollocks really on Untapped. Untapped, if you listen to this, which you're probably not, increase the character limit because people like me have things to say. Yeah, I need to be hilarious over there too. Anyway, as my notes say, this has gone on a bit and I'm going to leave it there. But that was a 585. And granted, I only ordered Baron Brewing's double IPA Knitted Baby because of the name. But it was bra. Yeah, it's human. Oh, my computer's gone to fucking sleep. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on. I'm going to have to wake up again. What's my password? Right, we're back. We're back. Don't worry. Aye, so Baron Brewing's double IPA Knitted Baby. Yeah, it was the name. But it was bra. It was humid when I drank it in Edinburgh, and it was both dry and refreshing, plus deliciously boozy. I gave that 5 out of 5 as well. Aye, so after yesterday's vlog, I had to review Allsop Beer's Double Diamond. Not yesterday's, it was like fucking weeks ago. Because I started doing that Monday vlog, didn't I? And I did the return of Double Diamond. It looked thin and pissy. It smelled like perm lotion, tasted like wet dog, and it was a no from me. And sadly, I gave it a 1.75. Now, you know, I had that a couple of weeks later when I was a bit steaming in the office. I'm going to have a drink. And I kind of changed my mind, but I'm of the opinion that the original review stands. And I didn't like it. And it smelled like perm lotion, which was a bit weird. I only give it 1.75 on Untapped. But drinking it like as a standalone beer, it was fine. I mean, I think I was just spoiled with the the awesome beers I'd had earlier on in the week and stuff like that. But yeah, it wasn't great. 2 things off the bat. Hop Butcher's Double IPA Dark Hedges. It was tart as fuck and full of hop cum. And for the uninitiated, that is sediment. It was like globs of fucking man glue floating around in the glass, and you always get that wee last mouthful in the can, don't you? So I can never get it out in the can anyway, so I tried to drink it and I had a wee love oyster go to the back of my throat and I was like, oh, I'm fucking gagging thinking about it. Anyway, it was really interesting. Sweet aftertaste to it too. And I was just really confused, not a sexy way. And the label made me think I was having a stroke. But it was just funky. That was 4.25. Oh, we've got some filth next. Looked like Manky Pond water and tasted like Werther's Originals that had been melted in your gran's handbag for about a month. Fuck me. Roman double IPA from Drop Project. It's a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma. I don't think I've ever tasted a double IPA like this before, and I mean that in a good way, not in a kind of middle of the night cub camp kind of way. Anyway, it was a 4.75 on Untapped, and with a label like a fucked up light bright Atom Beer's double dry hopped IPA Macro Evolution is as wonderfully understated as my Pinar and almost as tangy. And I've said that I'm going to enjoy this bad boy, and I fucking did. It was bro. And I gave that a 4.5 on the old fucking beer Pokemon bollocks. Next up, Hoppy People Brewery and Moxa Brewery have created what is probably the best beer of 2025 with their double dry hopped triple IPA Raining Blood. I mean, from the get-go, I love the art. I love the Slayer connection, and I basically loved the full-on liquid violence of this beer. As Mr. Poopy Butthole would say, insert voice note here if I remember. I've got 3 Slayer stories to tell, and I've put down that you'll have to tune into the podcast to hear them, but I'm fucked if I can remember them. Let's have a try. So I went to see Slayer many years ago, and it was Mastodon and Trivium that was supporting. Now, one of the boys in Mastodon had a fucking brain aneurysm, so they cancelled that night, which I was gutted because I wanted to see. No, there was I'm on Earth as well there as well, and they were fucking amazing. So Mastodon cancelled because one of the guys was a big bender. Trivium came on, and the crowd literally drowned them out with chants of Slayer. It was fucking epic. Time after that, I went to see them at the Barras, and I bumped in. Well, no, I didn't bump into. I arranged to go with a guy that I knew back then called Mark. He's a journal. He wrote the Rex Brown's autobiography with him, so he's did ghostwriting for it, and he was a bit of a poke the monkey type guy. But I didn't say that because the last time I said that, I got threatened with court action. Anyway, so we both turned up. We both had the Venom t-shirts on with the same fucking text on the back and shit like that, and went for a pint. And went, I'm waiting to interview the band, the tour bus now. And I followed on behind him, went, nah, no, you can't come. I was like, great. Cheers. So I went in, joined the queue, got piss wet through, went in. The way I was standing, I was near the front, on sort of stage left, so right as you look at it, near the speakers, and I swear to God, my right ear was swollen shut for about 2 days afterwards. It was fucking awful. What was the third one? Can I remember the third one? No, I can't. Anyway, it was a 5 out of 5. Yes, it's always worth a look in Aldi. And I picked up an exclusive William Brothers Brewing hazy IPA by the name of Magma. Magma, it says here. It was a bit stock for Williams Brothers, but it was a really good wee beer. You cannot say fairer than the price I paid for that, whatever it was only a couple of quid. Yeah, get some in your life. And I gave, what did I give that? Solid 4 or Untapped. And then the jingle. So this one I had on the Thursday night before Grand Day at the Wayne School. I was there. If I had the day off, I had my beard done, then we went through to see the end of term concert. It was fucking brilliant. They just have a good time, and it's so worth seeing the kids having a great time through there. Got home quite late, and I spent 40 minutes editing 9 seconds of footage for that Friday's bearded coffee rant. Pain in the ass. My Mac is like from 2016. I'm recording on it just now, and it's going to stop any second. I just fucking know it. Love you, Macintosh. Oh, you're really nice. Love you. Don't die. Anyway, I had a Perfect Storm Epic IPA, as it said in the tin, from William Brothers again. I'll tell you what, it reached some good parts. Oh boy, it was good. Absolutely epic beer. And I'm sure you can see what I did there. I give that a solid 5 out of 5 because it was just fucking brilliant. It was. Next up, what we got here? A wee Scouse New England IPA to send me to bed, nice and relaxed, with Love Lane Brewery's currently named New England IPA because it was a New England IPA. Now, it wasn't the best one I've ever had, but it had a lovely wee citrus taste to it, and it made me do that dad nod in approval. It did. I kind of reflected that in the score anyway. That was a solid 4. I think I need to go down to Liverpool and give the brewery a try. Like sort of fresh out the beer cow, as it were. See how it compares. Oh, the next one. Yeah, I looked like a tomato when I was drinking this. It was 30 degrees in Dunblane, and I had half a burnt left arm, half a burnt right arm on the outside, my fucking ear. It was bright red, and the back of my neck was like I'd been fucking, I don't know, something about working in the outdoors because you're a redneck or something like that. It was a double IPA from Badlands, and it touched me like Jimmy Savile in a mortuary. It may have looked like custard, but it tasted like I was bursting for pride for my eldest, finishing S6, and she's moving on to university in September. Fucking Bachelor of Arts in Art and Design, unconditional offer. That doesn't happen very often. I'm so proud of her. And yes, I had a little cry. Fucking sue me. And I gave that a 5 out of 5. Nicely linked in here with a label redder than the back of my neck. Fierce Beer's double IPA Cloud Cover is a cheeky wee Aldi find that is the beer equivalent of Paul Kersey. Killer Cure, am I right? And it was a 4.5. Oh, a wee home bargains find. Oh, I love my Aldi and my home bargains. While this pale ale won't set the world on fire, it's perfectly serviceable. And it's a gateway beer to some right niche craft beer booze. Well done, Love Lane Brewery. And again, one day I'm going to come down to you and taste your wares. Okay, so June is Pride Month throughout the world, and this sort of middle weekend in June, it was Pride in Edinburgh, and I was right in the thick of it at the legendary Salthorse Bar, where Closet Brewing had taken over the taps with 6 of Scotland's most vibrant, daring and unapologetically fabulous beers to celebrate Pride 2025. If you think juicy, fruity flavours, a splash of glitter, wild twists, and dangerously easy drinking pints, you're almost there. I dove headfirst into that lineup, having a bit of chin wag and soaking up the electric party vibes. Plus, I got to sit down with Lucy from Closet Beer for a super exclusive interview. We chatted about what Pride means to them, the story behind their brilliant booze, and why bringing this kind of celebration to the beer scene really fucking matters. Huge thanks to Closet Brewery for bringing the chaos to Salthorse and for hosting one of the best summer's beer bashes. On tap at Salthorse we had the Waters Leith, that was a New Zealand Pale Ale. Gal Pals, a Lavender Pale Ale. Skeleton Key was a tropical sour and a bit of a surprise. They're turning the friggin' frogs gay, which is a brilliant name. That was an IPA. Bright Young Things, which was a watermelon margarita de ghost. I believe that was a collaboration with Handbrew. And Not Up for Debate, which is a pale ale, and a collaboration with 71.
I'm lucky enough to meet Lucy from, where are we from?
Closet Brewing.
Closet Brewing, yes.
That's a good start.
I've been here since like 2:30, so I probably should know that. So, a couple of questions. So when did you start Closet?
So Closet Brewing started in 2018 in my cupboard, although legally we started in 2022 in our house. We started basically home brewing. It's a home brewery that got out of control, got our house licensed as a brewery, and started selling that beer to shops. They liked it, and so we grew into an industrial unit, and that's where we are now.
Hence Closet Brewing.
Hence Closet Brewing.
You wouldn't think that with the fucking retards next door, but there we go. And I've thoroughly enjoyed they're turning the freaking frogs gay today, and it seems to be flying out the door.
Absolutely.
The chap at the bar was saying that they've had it on since yesterday, and they're probably going to run out this afternoon.
It's
so
always good to hear.
Is that your most popular one?
I think that has now been our best-selling beer. The name does a lot of the hard carrying of it.
A lot of heavy lifting.
But the New England IPA we did last year, Lost in the Sauce, also sold very well. We're going to bring that back next month, and I'm anticipating that I'll be rivaling They're Turning the Friggin' Frogs gay for the title of best-selling beer.
Brilliant. It's also one of the best beer names I've come across recently.
Thank you. We do pride ourselves on the beer names that we come up with.
I see what you did there. And it's also a giant fuck you to all the gammons, I think.
Absolutely. There's nothing better than being at a beer festival and having to watch someone come up and ask for a pint of They're Turning the Friggin' Frogs gay.
Could I have a GAY frog, please?
Yeah.
No, you need to say it properly.
And as the night goes on, that whole name turns into, can I just have a pint of gay frogs, please?
That's brilliant. Thank you so much for your time.
No worries at all. Lovely to meet you. Thanks for having me.
So my reviews of that lovely spread of beers, for fuck's sake. They're turning the frickin' frogs gay at Salthorse. Yeah, this IPA from Closet Brewing was just fucking fabulous. I give it a 4.5. I think purely because they weren't selling pints of it, and I would have loved a pint. I'm definitely going to get, well, at some point, going to get some cans. Get that label in my little gay beer scrapbook. Wrong choice of words. G. Yeah, so next one. Something that I'd never tried before. I know there's not much left. It was a lavender pale ale, and it was called Gal Pals. It smelled like a Spencer's Brad drawer, but it tasted a little bit better. It was interesting and not really in a bad way. If you know what lavender smells like, that's what it tasted like. I kind of counted that as adventure number 1 of my Saturday out. I give that a 4, purely because, no, it was good. It was good. I can't lie, it was good, but it was just a bit too eclectic for my tastes. Hence the 4. Next, I had an accidental sour. Balls. It was called Skeleton Tea. Skeleton Key. Also from Closet. And it was a fucking surprise because it was I'd wanted a pale ale and it was a sour. I was out the back, took a drink. I was like, and my cheeks met. Yeah, it was a surprise, but it was actually all right. It wasn't a super sour. It was palatable, but I wasn't expecting it, so I gave it 3.5. I think that's fair. And the last one I got to try at Salthorse was Waters of Leith, which was a pale ale. It was light and fluffy and full of bracken and dead swans. Yes! And I gave that a 4.5. So I had an absolutely fucking brilliant day that day in Edinburgh for Pride. I met some amazing people. I went to a gig. Who were they called? They were called Gallowgate Murders at Bannerman's. Brilliant. You've probably seen a picture of me with my Pride cap on that I borrowed off some rando. But I nipped up to Mortal because that is my go-to place just now. And I had a kind of pure from Flock. And it was an absolute perfectly done. Really it was. They call it a bright IPA. And it was as zingy and fresh. I'll try that again. It was as zingy as a freshly circumcised willy being rubbed down with melon juice. Melon juice? Lemon juice. Jesus wept. And that was a solid 5 out of 5. Brill. So I cannot remember the last time I had a Burning Sky beer. So I was really looking forward to Bass Drums Guitar IPA for like all on my Friday. Like a good rhythm section, this beer is sturdy as fuck. And it's put a giant full stop on another long week. And I've got hashtag slapping the bass. 5 out of 5. We're rolling with the big boys now. Automatic top marks for Ziggy Stardog from Baron. The label in this double IPA bears the legends bum eggs. I've got it in my book. Let's see if I'll read it for you. Where are we? Bear with me. I'm not going to edit this out because I really can't be arsed. Specs back on. Right, okay, I'm going to read you the label here. We've teamed up with Planet Beer TV to bring you a special double IPA, the beer formerly known as Bum Egg. Hop to the stars with some of our joint favourites, and then the list of hops and the grains and the yeasts and the water. It's fucking water. Nerdy bits mashed to the brim of the mash tun. I thought I said a bag of vagina. It doesn't. It says a bag of Vienna added for a bit of colour and biscuit, boiled with a small bittering charge. Bitterness kept low for this beer. A big addition of hops at chilled whirlpool of Azaka and Montuka. Is that how you say it? Double dry hop with Nelson, Azaka and Montuka and Galaxy. Cheers to Chris and Paul for their help. Yeah, it's fucking 5 out of 5 for me. Closing the book. So now I love Fierce beer, I really do, but this double IPA exclusive to Aldi is a little bit lacking. It was called Hop Property and it looked good and it smelled good, but it really failed to keep up with their core range, if I'm honest, and especially the big lads that had been sucking that night. Wait, oh Jesus, that sounds dreadful. I mean the beers. I've not been smoking pole. It was an average brew. Sadly, but you know, it wasn't bad. That is the main thing. My scoring kind of reflected this, I feel. 3.75 and Untapped. Sue me. So one of the last of my Brew 61 beers was Golden Fleece Lager, and I drank it about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was pissed as fuck. It made me feel like a legend, rocking out at 3 a.m. to Alien Radio and Mixcloud. Just dropping that in there, lads, because I'm cool. What? I've got the hashtag make heroin overdose legal. What? I forgot to rate this on Untapped because I was steaming on it. Never got round to actually doing it. Never mind. So Saturday morning I had a sore head for some reason and I was a bit tired. But Brambling Best Bitter from Brew 61. This is a definite last of the Brew 61 beers. Absolute summer delight. It was fab, and it really assured me that my dodgy life choices the night before were correct. And I gave that 4.5. Massive, massive thanks to Brew61 for sending those over, by the way. I've enjoyed every single one of those beers. If you've not had a Brew61 beer before, fucking get online, fucking buy some, fucking drink some, or go and visit them. Whatever suits you best. But you cannot go wrong with a Brew61, and that's a hill I'm going to die on. Did I say 4.5 on Untapped? Don't know, saying it now. 4.5 on Untapped. Oh, bloody Nora. Clyde from Marble Brewers. It was a hefty tasting double IPA. Akin to being Right Turn Clyde by an Orange Monkey, with an aftertaste of that stuff you put in your nails to stop you biting them. And that was a 4 points. What was that? 4.75 on Untapped. And that, my beautiful beard-soaked brethren, fucking hell, beer-soaked brethren, who wrote this shit? That wraps up our June episode of the Bearded Beer Pod. Thanks a million for tuning in. We have had punch-in-face double IPAs, sticky festival experiments, lagers that probably shouldn't see daylight, and even a slice of pride-powered chaos in Edinburgh with Lucy from Closet Brewing at Salthorse. What a day. A few special mentions, I think, before we wrap things up. Raining Blood from Hoppy People in Motsuka. That one deserves a fucking trophy. Full-on Slayer in a can. It's an assault on the senses in the best possible way. Perfect Storm IPA from Williams Brothers deserves an honourable mention. So smooth after editing an absolute mince of a vlog. And then there's that Custard Colour Double IPA from Badlands. Touching me like Jimmy Savile. Plus, yes, there were proud tears, but my eldest finishing school and a hint to uni. Like I said, sue me. You can't be the only one that's done it. Let's hug it out over a pint. Also, big thanks to Pint Pouch, the wearable beer bladder that 2025 desperately needs. Remember to use the code BeerPod25 at the checkout for 10% off when you buy. Perfect for winter festivals, family events, or any time you don't trust a glass. Drink responsibly. Well, responsibly strange. Coming up next month, we have more of the same shite, plus something special for July's festival season shenanigans, plus ordinary nonsense outtakes, because here's the thing. If you're not slightly embarrassed by your own antics when listening back, you didn't drink enough. Fact. You know the drill. Drop me a review. Hit me up on Insta or YouTube. Tell me what beers you've cracked this month. Bonus points if the label makes you question humanity. Who needs Season 1, Episode 1 of Narnia when your canners already got existential dread? As always, I'm absolutely knackered. Might be teetering on a third day headache from thinking about coffee rant footage, and I definitely need to lie down. But before I go, raise a glass to craft beer for keeping us weird, keeping us loud, and reminding us all, no matter how ridiculous the label, if it tastes like piss, well, it probably is. Cheers, guys. Stay hoppy, keep it loud. See you next month.